So about 6 months ago, probably like, I want to say May or June this year, um, I started having really bad ear pain. And I was like, I couldn't figure out what it was, like where it came from, why it was happening. And I was just confused. I didn't understand like what was going on. So one day eventually got so bad that I was like, let me just go to the emergency room. Let me get checked out, see what's going on. Try to get better. You know what I'm saying? I go in the emergency room, and first they thought it was my teeth. So they were like, we can't really tell. I thought it was my teeth at first. That's what it really was. And so went through this whole thing, went to the dentist, got checked out, but the pain never went away. Then I came back, and my wife was like, maybe it's an ear infection. So I'm like, okay. I go to the doctor and tell them that maybe it's an ear infection. I looked up the symptoms, it all kind of matched up. And they're like, okay, well, this is what we'll do, and hopefully it goes away. And so they gave me some, by the way, ear infection is probably one of the most painful things I've ever felt in my life. But it eventually started going away. I was on like very heavy pain pills for a while, just trying to deal with the pain. Not even like trying to get rid of it, just trying to like deal with it. So after that, after it finally went away, just like months later, every now and then I'll have a little bit of a tweak or a little bit of feeling in it in my ear, but it never came back as strong as it did, right? So mind you, this is months later, probably like, I want to say like October. Yeah, probably around like October, close to the end of October. Nothing's going on really, just having a regular day, just kicking it with the family and whatnot. And then randomly, like we're at home watching that, there's that Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken movie came out, and my kids wanted to see that really bad, so we was watching that. And randomly, I start to feel like pressure building up in my ear, like over time. And it takes a little while, but it gets stronger and stronger and more painful as the night goes on. And I can't sleep because the pain is so crazy. Like it's that bad. And I'm thinking, God, I got another ear infection. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. And in the morning, I was just like, this is getting crazy. I'm gonna just go to the hospital, go to the ER, get checked out, see if they can give me some pain meds, and maybe give me some, anti-inflammatories. That's usually what they do for ear infection. So I go and I get checked out, and it wasn't an ear infection. I had ruptured my eardrum, which basically means I had a hole in my eardrum. And so back up, rewind, go all the way back to the first ear infection. The reason I got the ear infection is because I had these earbuds that I would wear, these J-Labs that I would wear for work, listen to music, listen to podcasts or whatever. And when I was having a hard time sleeping, I would just, because me and my kids and my family were all sleeping in the same room, I would put the headphones in so I could like watch my YouTube videos, listen to music or whatever. And I ended up like very consistently sleeping with them in my ears, which is what, like, I got sweat and all this other stuff. So that's how I got the ear infection. I swore after that I would never use those again, and I didn't for a long time. I even got some some other headphones that I could use that wouldn't, I got like some over ears, so I would use those, and I just wouldn't. It took a while for me to ever go back to using the in-ear headphones. And I'm supposed to be brushing my teeth, but I'm trying not to get distracted while I'm telling the story. But the reason I ended up with a perforated eardrum or a ruptured eardrum is because after months of not using these headphones, months of saying I'm just not going to use them anymore because I don't want to get another ear infection, not only did going back to doing what I did before lead to not only the same result, but a much worse result, because from using the earphones, I ended up with a ruptured eardrum. I had a hole in my eardrum, which was way more painful than just a regular ear infection. It literally was like, it felt like someone was drilling into my head. And it was so bad that even though I was taking pain meds, it still was extremely painful. I had to take the pain meds to not be in unbearable pain, but still be in an extremely large amount of pain. I say all that to say, better life tip number 2, don't go backwards, only go forward. Now, caveat to this, if God tell you to go backwards, that's a different thing. But you don't go back to the things that you said you wouldn't do anymore, unless otherwise prompted by God to do so. Because once you leave a certain thing, there's a word in the Bible that we use a lot called repent. We know what that means. It means like asking for forgiveness from God. But the literal meaning of the word is to turn. And even in the, I believe it was the Greek-Roman army, when they would march, the leader of the group would say repent, and they would do a full 180 turn. So when you're repenting from something, you're literally supposed to turn away from it. If you're repenting from fornication, you're not supposed to go back to it. So how crazy do you look for you to repent, turn around, and then repent again to go back to what you already turned away from? The point I'm making is that you should never be trying to go backwards. You should always be trying to move forward into what God has called you to. Don't go back into the things of the past that held you down and kept you from what you were trying to do, kept you from God's purpose for your life. Don't turn back. Turn away and move forward into the direction that God's calling you. Tip number 2, better life tip number 2. Don't go backwards. Let's go forward.
You know he the one I call.